What is going on, guys? SteelTwins back at you with another video on with our second Pittsburgh Steelers NFL mock draft. We were looking to make this video and upload it earlier in the week, but stuff came up and we got a little busy. But nonetheless, here we are with the mock draft post Maurkice Pouncey retirement.
Yes, there's been a lot of crazy news out there for the Steelers. Of course, Pouncey retired. You got the whole Ben situation and the whole cap and all that. So it's going to be a lot more interesting as the weeks go by and as we reach March. But here we are with our second mock draft. And it's going to start pretty interesting as the Pittsburgh Steelers, for once, actually trade back.
Yes, trade alert.
They trade back from the 24th pick, and they trade with Miami. Why? Because we got history.
Yes, we have great history. Well, I don't think we really need to talk about it. We just know what happened. It benefited us, and I'm sure it's going to benefit them down the long run.
Yes. Now, why would the Steelers trade back? Well, in my opinion, I don't know if there's going to be one true guy that the Steelers really like there at 24.
Right.
Because Najee could go to the Dolphins at 18. ETN could go to the Jets. The offensive tackle position is so stacked that they could wait day 2 to go get offensive tackle. Plus, there's been rumors and talks of Zach Banner getting resigned and putting him at left tackle.
You're concerned he said that Tomlin told him that he's the answer to the left tackle position.
Right.
Now, I'm not really too keen on him at being left tackle. I think he's more of a right tackle, but I'm willing to give him an opportunity at the left tackle position.
And I don't know if that's completely official, but we're just going with that,
Speculation.
Right. And I can see the Steelers trading back because they don't have that one guy there.
And maybe we don't want to reach on a certain somebody, considering the Steelers tend to do that at times.
Right.
So maybe we want to trade back and get some value out of it.
Why not? Because the offensive tackle position is stacked this year. They can still get their one guy that they're eyeing day 2 or possibly late day 1 and still get some extra capital out of it, which I'm sure the Steelers could definitely use.
Right. So the Pittsburgh Steelers trade the 24th overall pick and a 2022 fifth-round selection to the Miami Dolphins for the 36th overall pick and the 81st overall pick.
So we get 2 day 2 picks while trading our first-round pick and next year's fifth-round pick. Now, again, I can see the Steelers trading back, maybe back into late first round, but I can also see them trading out of the first round completely. And if they were to do that, I'm sure that they would ask for something in value, such as the 36th and 81st overall pick, 2 day 2 picks.
Right.
We would still get an early pick day 2 and get an extra day 2 pick in return.
Right. And let's say the Miami Dolphins, concerned they already have 2 first-round picks. They have the 4th overall pick, I believe. They could use that to get a receiver because they need a receiver. And let's say with the 18th pick, they get a running back. It could be Najee, it could be ETN. Regardless, they need a running back. Let's say that they could possibly trade back into the first round and negotiate with the Steelers with their pick. And let's say they need offensive line because they desperately need offensive line.
That could be center, that could be tackle, that could be guard.
Right.
Depending who's on the board.
Yeah.
But again, I can see the Steelers trading back because if they are going offensive line or if they have a specific guy that they really like that they know they can get early day 2, I can see them trading back.
Yeah.
And that's what we do here. Again, we trade the 24th overall pick and the 2022 fifth-round pick to the Miami Dolphins for the 36th overall pick and the 81st overall pick.
With the 36th overall pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Javonte Williams, running back out of North Carolina.
Can't you just tell we really love Javonte Williams?
Dude, the guy's a beast.
The
guy is a monster. He's going to be in the NFL.
This guy has it all. He has everything you want in a running back. He has physicality, contact balance, breakaway speed, physicality down the line. He's got pass protection, incredible pass protection. He's arguably the best pass protecting running back in the draft.
And it's something the Steelers obviously want in their typical running back.
And he's got receiving ability.
Yes. The guy's a monster. The guy in the black and gold would look absolutely phenomenal, and he is the typical Pittsburgh Steelers running back. He is a guy that will run over any defender, knock him down to the ground, and laugh at them while doing it.
The crazy thing about him, he's like 5'10", 5'11", 220, something like that. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
This guy's a home run runner, man. I really like Javonte a lot, and I know going running back doesn't sound too ideal with the first pick to some of you guys. I know some of you guys might like Najee as the first pick, or in this instance, Javonte with the first pick. Some of you guys may object and go offensive line first pick, and I'm not going to disagree with you here.
No, of course not.
But again, we're going with the speculation that Banner will get the starting left tackle job, and we can still get a proper center with our second pick in the second round.
Yes.
And with that pick in the second round, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Josh Myers, interior offensive lineman out of Ohio State. We need center. Pouncey retired. Now, you guys may be thinking, why not Creed Humphrey? Why not Landon Dickerson? I love them both.
Both of them are great.
I can see Humphrey going a little early, though, because he's a little more healthier than Dickerson, and maybe a team like the Dolphins, maybe they take Humphrey with the 24th pick, or maybe the Ravens, they need center. Maybe they take Humphrey. I can see Humphrey going before our original pick day 2.
Right, or even in day 2, maybe the Seahawks, maybe the Vikings, teams like that. They could use offensive line badly.
Now, Landon Dickerson. I love Landon Dickerson. This dude is a mauler. This dude is aggressive. He's a bully. But obviously, his injury report is very concerning.
Very concerning. I believe, 2 ACL tears in his career so far?
As well as 2 ankle injuries. He's only had 1 full healthy season his first year in Alabama, 2019. I love Landon Dickerson, but his injury concern is really going to, back teams away.
Right, could throw him off, considering how great of a center he is.
So that's why we go Josh Myers.
And you can't go wrong with Josh Myers. Josh Myers is a very good center.
He's a very incredible and efficient run blocker, which is something we're definitely going to be focused on fixing. That might be the reason why we have Zach Banner at left tackle, because he's a really good run blocker.
Yeah.
There's one thing about Banner that you really like, it's his size as a run blocker. Javonte Williams, you select him with your first pick day 2. You get your running back, you get your running game going, along with Anthony McFarland and Benny Snell behind him. And then you get an incredible run blocking center and Josh Myers to replace Maurkice Pouncey.
There you go.
Now, he could be better as a pass blocker. I think that could be one of his weaknesses at the next level, but I'm sure the Steelers can fix that and work on that. Other than that, Josh Myers, man, I really like him. He's got good size for a center. He's like 6'5", 312, so
he's a big body dude. He's a big body guy.
He's very aggressive. He likes planting guys on the ground and creating lanes for his running game. So that's why we go Josh Myers here.
Yeah.
Now with the first third round pick, since we had added the 81st from the Dolphins, with the 81st overall pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Jabril Cox, linebacker at LSU.
Yes, a linebacker. And some people have actually thought about us selecting a linebacker. Some people have even thought maybe with our first round pick or even later in the draft. And we could use a linebacker, let's be honest.
I mean, outside of Bush, do we have any athletic,
speedy guys?
No. Vince Williams, he's getting up there with age, and his cap hit could become a casualty maybe. I don't think it will be. I'm just throwing that out there. We got Robert Spillane, who's going to be a free agent, but I see him being resigned. Ulysses Gilbert can't stay healthy.
Avery Williamson, I'm sure he's going to be leaving.
So
we don't really have a lot of quality depth at linebacker or any really key speedy guys to really...
Outside of Bush.
Right, of course, and to be alongside of Bush.
That's where Jabril Cox would come in with the 81st pick that we acquired from the Dolphins. Now,
it would be a great pick. Jabril Cox, the thing about him, he has very good coverage skills. Something that none of our linebackers have. Bush at times, but he's not really an ideal cover guy.
No, because, I mean, he's a midget.
Right, of course. Jabril Cox is that cover guy. And Steelers, for some reason, especially Keith Butler, tend to have linebackers on receivers.
Yes, but Jabril Cox would be an exception because he can actually work in one-on-one deals against running backs and tight ends and possibly even slot receivers. He's got the speed for it. He's 6'4", 231. You know, he's great in coverage, good in run defending. He can even rush the passer if needed to. He's got it all. Yeah, I like Jabril Cox a lot. That sounded really weird. But nonetheless, I think we could have Bush and Cox as our inside linebackers. Giggity.
Can you imagine Devin Bush and Jabril Cox as a linebacker duo right there?
Well, the name alone would be great. But
of course,
the talent there, I mean, 2 athletic, speedy inside linebackers, that's what you need in today's NFL. Look at the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. That right there showed you need 2 athletic, speedy, great inside linebackers. You got Bush, who kind of plays that Devin White role. You got Jabril Cox, that kind of plays that Levante David role right there. That's how I look at there.
Right, because when Bush went down, that speed was missed.
Yes.
You saw the speed was desperately missed.
And Vince Williams has a ceiling.
He does. And same with Spillane. So getting a guy like Jabril Cox with size, speed, coverage ability, and talent would be great.
Definitely. That's how I see it there. Now with our 4th pick on day 2, our second pick in the 3rd round, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Walker Little, offensive tackle out of Stanford. We finally go tackle. Going tackle this late might not sound ideal, but one offensive tackle is incredibly stacked, and Walker Little is just another example of that. And again, we might be starting Banner. We're going with that speculation. We don't know if it's confirmed. I'm sure he's going to be resigned. He's going to get competition at tackle, of course, because he was the starter week 1 against the Giants before going down injury.
Yeah.
So he'll be slotted in there at some point to get a job back, whether that's right tackle or left tackle. Mike Tomlin likes his tall, lengthy offensive tackles. That's why he liked Villanueva so much. Zach Banner is a tall, lengthy guy. And again, they want to try to work on that rushing game.
Yeah.
So, but we go Walker Little at the end of the 3rd round here. I really like Walker Little a lot. We started scouting him last year. There was speculation that he might, declare for the draft last year.
But he obviously opted back into the season for Stanford.
There was even talks that he could be a first-round pick last year's draft.
Right.
Even though he ended the 2019 season with I think it's an ankle injury. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he ended the season with a season-ending injury. But he still got first-round talks. Then he opted to return for another year until, of course, the outbreak happened, and then thus he opted out of the 2020 season, which has hurt his stock because he hasn't played in 2 years. He's only played 1 game in 2 years. He went out with a season-ending injury in 2019. He didn't play all last year. So his stock will drop because of that, but even then, I think if he were to play this year, he would still get first-round talks because that's what he got last year, and he's got the talent for it.
He definitely does. And with Banner potentially starting and even Chuck starting, it would be perfect for a guy like Walker Little, who could be rusty considering he hasn't played in 2 years. It would be perfect for a guy like him to develop and for him to eventually get that potential starting role. And I do think down the road, whether it's the Steelers or another team that drafts him, I do think he can be a starting tackle in the league.
Yes.
I think he's that good. I think he has a lot of potential to be a great starting tackle in the NFL.
Agreed. And plus, the Steelers like their Stanford offensive lineman.
Yeah.
David DeCastro is a big example there.
Of course.
So, I like Walker Little a lot. I think he could be a definite steal in the 3rd round to any team, but here we go, the Pittsburgh Steelers, to eventually take over that left tackle spot. Now, in the 4th round, we have 2 4th-round picks, of course. With the first pick in the 4th round, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Charles Snowden, linebacker out of Virginia. We go 2 linebackers here. One of them is inside linebacker with Jabril Cox. And in the 4th round, we go Charles Snowden, outside linebacker from Virginia.
He's more ideal as an outside guy, but he has made reps in inside. He is a versatile piece, but this guy is a big dude. He's 6'6", almost 6'7".
Damn near 6'7". Now, he is only 235. So he is a little light. He is a little scrawny for his size. He's going to have to add maybe 10 pounds of muscle at the next level. But this guy can be a defensive, nightmare.
Yeah.
Because, first of all, he's 6'6", damn near 6'7", as an outside linebacker. Right there alone, he's going to be real tough to block for offensive linemen. And thus, he can even drop back into zone coverage if needed be because of his length. He's shown he can work in zone coverage in the flats against tight ends and linebackers. He can make plays in coverage there if needed be, which we know with our outside linebackers, the Steelers tend to drop them in coverage. We've seen it with Bush and Watt over the years. So Snowden right there has that to him. And he has the height, the rare, great length for an outside linebacker to knock down passes pretty easily because of his height. So he's got a lot of advantages. Plus, he's very athletic and speedy for his size. He's got a great bull rush move. So
he's a very solid run defender, too. And the thing about his size, it's a huge advantage to him. Because when he's going for those tackles, his big, lengthy arms are a huge advantage to his play on the football field.
His tackle rate is crazy because of his length.
Yes.
So I like
it's a huge advantage because of his size.
Yes. And we can work greatly with Snowden in a rotational way. Again, he can drop into coverage if needed to be. He's already an offensive/defensive nightmare because of his length. So I like Snowden a lot. I think he could be a great defensive weapon in a rotational role for defenses. Now, with the second pick in the 4th round, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Thomas Graham Jr., cornerback out of Oregon. We finally go cornerback. Now, like we said in our first mock, I do think Mike Hilton will be leaving.
So it would hurt because Mike Hilton is a very underrated defender. He's a great, talented player.
He's great.
And I'm sure if it's not this, because we're screwed when it comes to cap, he's definitely going to go somewhere to a team that's going to pay him a lot, and he's going to earn every damn penny of that money.
Yes.
The guy's a great player. He's so underrated. So underrated.
He's probably the best nickel corner in the league.
He might be.
He can do everything, man. But that's why we think he's going to leave, because he's going to get the bag, deservedly so. Now, I think we do retain Cameron Sutton. Where we put him, we could continue to use him as an outside guy, maybe put him at nickel, depending on what we do with Hayden or Nelson. You know, that's another quiet
discussion.
Yes, because, you know, cap issues.
Yes.
But Thomas Graham would come in and be depth as a possible outside guy.
Because he has experience as an outside guy, but for the NFL, he has ideal size for a perfect nickel guy.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Thomas Graham had 39 consecutive starts as an outside corner in Oregon. And in those starts, he had 32 career passes defended, as well as 8 career interceptions. His last 2 seasons in Oregon were double-digit pass deflection seasons. 18 in 2018 and 10 in 2019. He opted out of the 2020 season.
Right.
So he might be a little rusty there. He'd come in as depth initially, but take over that eventual starting nickel role. He can work outside because that's where he worked in Oregon before his size at the next level. It's probably best that he works in the slot. But this guy is physical. He works good in the rushing game. He can obviously attack the ball. He has good ball skills, you know, solid coverage. He's very fluid in his hips when it comes to route running. So I like Graham a lot. I think he'd be a really solid slot guy at the next level. But, you know, with our cornerback situation and cornerback depth, I think Graham could come in, initially be depth, of course, but eventually take over that starting
role. He could work his way up, and Graham's got a lot of talent. Now, when it comes to the Steelers drafting cornerbacks in the draft, it's not too keen or ideal, but Graham is a very talented defensive back.
Right, for sure. Now, in the 5th round, I'm sorry.
6th round, we don't have a 5th round. We have 2 6th-round selections. And with the first one, we select to Daryl Slayton, interior defensive lineman out of Florida.
This guy's a big guy. 6'5", 340 for a D tackle.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
This guy can easily fill the gaps because of his size. He's very aggressive. He's great in the rushing game. And he even has signs of decent pass rush ability. Now, I don't know what we do at D tackle. There's talks we might get J.J. Watt. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, J.J., you know, 2 of your brothers are playing on the team. You know, why the hell not? You know, family comes first, dude.
Come on aboard. Now, we could grab J.J. and move Sutton, God. Hayward or Tuitt at D tackle. Either of them can play interior defensive lineman.
Yeah.
But we still need depth on the defensive line, or even if we don't get JJ, we don't know what's going to happen with Tyson Alualu. But nonetheless, this would initially be defensive line depth, but I can see Slayton working his way up to be an eventual starter D tackle in our system. Again, 6'5", 340. He's a big guy that can easily fill the gaps. Great in the rushing game. Decent pass rush skills. I like Slayton a lot. His size would be a great advantage to fill the gaps. So that's our defensive line depth there. Now, at the second pick in the 6th round, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Cade Johnson, wide receiver out of South Dakota State. Slot depth. I don't know if we keep Juju or not. But nonetheless, we still need slot depth. We have, you know, outside guys. We
have talented receivers.
We got Johnson. We got Claypool. We got Washington who can all play outside. Well, we need inside guys. Whether Juju stays or not, we still need an inside guy. Cade Johnson right there is perfect. He has great speed. He has slot size, of course. He has incredible route running. Dude, this guy is physical when it comes to working against cornerbacks, especially slot corners. But his route running is what, you know, makes him a lot of money.
Yeah, this guy is a very underrated receiver. Good hands, fantastic route running ability. I believe he was actually a 0-star recruit before going to South Dakota State.
Very small school. He's an incredible underdog story, which you know the Steelers love those guys.
Yes.
So I like Cade Johnson a lot. He would be slot depth, but a very speedy, nice weapon. He's also a return specialist as well.
So he can obviously get his feet wet in special teams and work his way there at first.
And I think he could work wonders in Matt Canada's system for sure. I'm sure Matt Canada can definitely have some crazy creative juices going when it comes for a guy like Cade Johnson, who's speedy.
I'm sure.
Great route running ability. Can work on those end of rounds, of course. So I like Cade Johnson a lot. It would be slot depth, but a nice, great weapon for Canada's offense.
Right, and the Steelers like their receivers in the draft, so I can definitely see another one coming in this one.
For sure. Now, in the 7th round, we have 2 7th-round picks. The first pick in the 7th round, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Jamar Johnson, safety out of Indiana.
We need safety depth. We could use safety depth. I don't know what's going to happen in Dangerfield. I think he's a free agent. I think he will stay specifically because of his special teams duties, but I know Sean Davis is going to leave. We could put Marcus Allen back there at safety if we get a guy like Jabril Cox in the 3rd round, but we could use some solid safety depth, and Jamar Johnson would be pretty good depth. I think he's a very talented safety from Indiana.
Dude, he really balled out in that game against Ohio State.
He did.
He has incredible range for, a safety like him and where he's projected to go. He's got great ball skills. He can even work on the slot if needed to. He's very good at watching the quarterback and working on his range and his reads. It's very impressive when you watch this guy's film.
Yeah.
He's very impressive. So Jamar Johnson would be a special teams depth, safety depth, of course. But, I could see him getting some time on the field, kind of like how Antoine Brooks did.
Yeah.
Maybe he can battle Antoine Brooks for reps on the field.
Right.
But I like Jamar Johnson a lot for sure. Now, with our last pick in this mock, the 2nd pick in the 7th round, the Pittsburgh Steelers finally go tight end with Luke Farrell, tight end out of Ohio State. Now, I know going tight end this late isn't really ideal, especially when it comes to our tight end depth, but the only reason why we go tight end so late is because we would not be surprised if we do go tight end this late, because the Steelers haven't really addressed tight end or tight end depth in a long time. We've signed some free agents. Ladarius Green was a free agent bust, even though if he was healthy, he could have been a great weapon. Eric Ebron's good, but of course he's not a great blocker. Vince McDonald retired. Zach Gentry's not great whatsoever.
No.
We need tight end depth, but I can see them either signing a free agent,
or potentially drafting one late, because it's been a while, probably since Heath actually, that we've drafted a tight end very, very early in the draft. And if I'm going to be honest, I don't really see one unless there's a credible name like maybe a Fairmuth or a
Tommy Tremble or a Brevin Jordan or guys like that. You know what I mean? But again, we have other needs that we need to address day 2, so I can see them waiting to draft tight end so late, especially if all they need is a number 2 who can block. And that's what Luke Farrell right there is for.
Yeah.
He can work in the passing game. He's a very secret weapon, very strong, physical guy. Can be a wrecking ball when he has the ball in his hands. But he'd be the blocking tight end that we definitely solely need.
Yeah.
And he worked wonders in that, blocking role in Ohio State.
He's a very ideal blocking tight end. That's exactly what the Steelers love when it comes to their number 2 tight end on the team.
Yeah, so I can see them waiting for tight end so late because all they need is a number 2 blocking guy, and that's where we get a guy like Luke Farrell in the 7th round. So.
Perfect.
Anyway, guys, that is our 2nd official mock draft for post-Pouncey retirement. Let us know your guys' thoughts down below, as well as your guys' mocks down below. We'll do a quick run around. Again, we traded the 24th pick and a 2022 5th-round pick to the Miami Dolphins for the 36th overall and the 81st overall pick. And with our picks, the 2nd round, we go Javonte Williams and Josh Myers. In the 3rd round, we go Jabril Cox and Walker Little. In the 4th round, we go Charles Snowden and Thomas Graham. With the 6th round, we go to Daryl Slayton and K. Johnson. And to finish the mock, we have 2 picks in the 7th round where we go Jamar Johnson and Luke Farrell. Again, let us know your guys' thoughts down below, as well as your guys' mocks down below. We'll be back with another mock draft very shortly. Free agency hasn't hit, so I think it'd be good to make a full 1st round mock pre-free agency. You know
that'd
what I mean?
be great.
And then have one after free agency hits. So let us know your guys' thoughts down below. Here we go, Steelers, and see you guys in the next one.
Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you later.
Peace!